the neglect, the indifference, the greed, the corruption of the two parties. And I looked around and I said, hey, is there anyone else running for president? I mean, be my guest.
He would have welcomed a really progressive candidate, not just talking politics, but actually running and trying to get elected. And there just wasn't anyone on the horizon.
Nobody wanted to step forward. And year after year would go by. I didn't want to step forward. And then I began realizing that bad politics was driving out potential good candidates. That I would meet people all over the country who'd say, you know, I'd like to run for the Senate. I'd like to run for governor. I'd like to run for but it's such a dirty game. I don't want anything to do with it.
I've knocked on thousands of doors in my life campaigning, and I'll tell you, the number one comment I hear from people is, politicians, they're all crooks. Politicians, can't trust them.
In ancient Athens, politics was a glorious word. It was the word used as an antidote to autocracy. And now, these rascals in politics, this two-party elected dictatorship, has turned politics into such a dirty word that the whole idea of elected public service is now distasteful to thousands and thousands of wonderful people in this country. That's when I said, okay, that's the final straw. I have got to step forward.
I remember saying down through the years, people would come up to me and say, why doesn't Ralph run? I said, forget it. He's not going to run. He's not going to run. And boom, he ran. I couldn't wait to get on the bus.
I remember George Stephanopoulos calling up and saying, what are you doing? And I said, well, we're running for president. You know, but that's how the mainstream press treated Ralph's campaign. Like, what is this oddity, this quirk?
There were a lot of hiccups in starting and launching Ralph's campaign, like he's starting late, and a party being as small as it is in a country that's not very tolerant of third parties.
The concrete goals were fairly mundane, but they were along the lines of, let's raise $5 million, let's try to get on the ballot in 45 states, let's try to get 5% of the electorate so we can help build the Green Party, let's create a lot of local Greens, let's bring in a lot of new talent into the citizen movement, let's get the issues out there.
The very things we should do for the family pocketbook, more fuel-efficient cars, more solar energy, more fuel-efficient appliances, lighting, air conditioning systems, will also reduce the contribution to global warming. I would make sure corporations pay their fair share of taxes so the rest of the individuals don't have to pay what they're now paying. You know, if corporations paid the same rate of taxation as they did in the prosperous 1960s, we have another $250 billion in the Treasury. There are almost 50 million people in this country making less than 10 bucks an hour. 10 bucks. Some of them are making 8, 7, 6, 5.50. You can support a family on that? We're spending 15% of our economy on health care. 47 million Americans not covered, 20 more million grossly undercovered. The ones who are covered, they're getting hit with more co-payments, deductions, exclusions, give-backs, and negotiation with employers and pre-existing conditions. So I don't believe in Gore's step-by-step. And I don't believe in that phony package that George W. Bush put out last week either. We have a bunch of skulking, cowardly politicians in Washington. They don't want to go down in history as fighting for the people as much as they want to go down next week and get some cash from special interest groups.
Grilled tenderloin for fundraiser, $1,000 a plate. Campaign ads filled with half-truths, $10 million. Promises to special interest groups, over $10 billion. Finding out the truth, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. Without Ralph Nader in the presidential debates, the truth will come in last. Find out how you can help. Go to votenader.com.
One of our press